stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 3 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin. We're going to change this over a little bit, guys. If you go to our show page, you're going to see in the slides some pictures of an older gentleman who's obviously a veteran, and the story that I'm going to read is it comes from direct from his heart in a way. This was put out on the 8th, all right, and it's by Joe Duggan of The Sun, all right. Now, this one here, the headline is Heroes Tribute. D-Day veteran chokes back tears as he sees memorial his fundraising helped build for the first time. All right. Now, the memorial, as far as I know, is not finished. There's a picture, a concept picture of it, though, in the show slides, as I said, and it is pretty cool. It's one of those computer-generated things where they show you what it will look like. He was shown a video of it under construction, and there was a short video with this, and I did not record it for the show because it's not even 2 minutes long. It's very short. But you guys can find this at The Sun if you just go looking for it using the headline that I just gave you, all right? So I'll start reading the story here. A D-Day hero choked back tears today after seeing a Normandy memorial he helped raise Poppy Appeal funds for. There you go, guys. Something else that Poppy Appeal did, all right? Here we go. Harry Billings. I should say Harry Billinge. All right, that's probably how you say his name. Age 93, became emotional when he saw a clip of the construction of the British Normandy Memorial at Vers-sur-Mer for the first time on this morning's BBC breakfast show. All right. And I will say that they were very nice to him, by the way, as I scroll down, guys. They were very nice to him when he kind of puddled up there, and it was a pretty cool thing to see. So you guys got to go there and at least look at that video. The World War II veteran from St. Astill, Cornwall, wanted to raise 22,442 pounds, a pound for every British soldier who died in the Normandy campaign for the Normandy Memorial Trust. How cool is that? And when B presenter Naga Munchity asked Harry how it felt to see the monument, he said, marvelous. The brave former Royal Engineers sapper, man, the engineers, I can't say enough about engineers, but just great. Anyway, who wore his medals and his army beret, was briefly unable to speak. And he was wearing a poppy, too, by the way, guys.
Bless him, guys.
As Naga went over to comfort him, she said, "It means so much. I had a job to do." That's another subhead here, guys. Harry replied, "I'm all right." Terrible. As he fought back tears, presenter Charlie Stite said to Harry, "Take a moment, Harry. People will be watching you, full of respect for what you've done." Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little puddled up in here. Harry said, "Yeah, well, I did it because I had a job to do. All these fellas did a good job. All these men. All these wonderful men." During the interview, Harry said, "Nobody can ever describe D-Day." He added, "I've heard a lot of what you call And I'm just going to say, well, I'm just going to say it. They started out, but I'm going to say it, bullshit. And that's true. I am not a brave man. I'm lucky. I owe my life to the boys. All Normandy veterans loved one another beyond the love of women. You cannot describe it. I love them all, and I'll never forget them. He was 18 years old when he stormed Gold Beach as part of the first wave of troops to land in occupied France 75 years ago. Harry has recalled how the water turned red with the blood of soldiers as they reached the Normandy shore. One mate died in his arms during the landing, with Harry having visited his friend's grave in a small French cemetery. Speaking to the BBC on the 75th anniversary of D-Day in June, Harry said, "Don't thank me and don't say I'm a hero. All the heroes are dead, and I'll never forget them as long as I live." He said it was through the harrowing experience that Normandy veterans were bonded together. And that, Jeff, that's the end of the story. So what do you think, brother?
Brothers in arms. Brothers in arms, and the love that he had for his brothers that didn't come home with Harry. You know, it's heartbreaking. It's the memories. I don't know, Dave. I've never been in that situation like Harry himself, but I feel the emotion because if it was me, you know, if one of his friends had died in his arms, I mean, come on, man, it's how can you forget those experiences? And as he said, a lot of what you heard was bullshit, and it's true. No one really knows what it's like to be on that beach that day when they were storming the beach, Gold Beach, and the loss, the people that was dying around, who didn't even get to the shore, who died in the sea, Dave. You know, we did see pictures of bodies just floating in the sea, and that was an experience that, oh my God, it's too horrific to even contemplate. You know, as we sit in a civilian, you know, our civilian life, to picture that, what these young men, what must have gone through their minds, the build-up as the boats were arriving to storm the beaches, Dave. I'd have been petrified. Most people are, but as Harry says, he had a job to do. And like those soldiers, you know, you ask a soldier today if one of who survived it, would you do it? Of course I would. You know, love of my country and the love of the people around me. I don't know. I don't. I'm just actually. I'm making my own inceptions there. Is that the right word, inception? But I don't know. It's. But we've got to be so thankful for all them lads, Dave. Your boys, our boys, the Canadians, and everybody that was associated. And some lost a lot more than others. And we know you guys. My goodness me, what a great job you boys did, eh, Dave? Wow. What can I say? This was an allied force. This was us against the Hun, and we had no choice. It had to be done. And I don't really. I feel quite emotional when I think about it, Dave. You know, some of them lads was only youngsters, like, you know. And anyway, let me pass it back to you. I get a bit emotional. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it just gets to you a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it does. And like I said, you know, no, we can't. And as I said, you know, reading that story and often reading these stories, you know, I was puddling up a little bit my own self, you know, just because of that. Now, what we're going to do here is turn to the United States because this is, we do have a large American audience, and it is going to be Veterans Day in the United States tomorrow. And I've got a story here a story or two, actually, from a station, television station, WATE, all right, Channel 6, okay, and this one here from the United States is one that came out, all right, by Don Dare. It was posted and updated November the 8th, rather, okay? And the headline on this is A Final Tribute in a Story of War and Love. Knoxville, Tennessee, WATE, that's where the station is from. Every day, memories of World War II disappear. To some younger people, the wars, terrors, and triumphs seem like ancient history. The oldest living World War II veteran is a New Orleans man, Lawrence Brooks, who celebrated his 110th birthday in September. That's right, guys. 110 years old.
110.
Okay. Yes. The
Wow.
men and women who fought and won the great conflict are now in their 90s. They are dying off. When veterans are laid to rest, they are recognized for their noble service. Here's another subhead. Burial of an East Tennessee World War II veteran. On November the 1st, a full military service was carried out to honor the sacrifices made so many years ago by World War II and Korean War veteran. Yeah, a lot of these guys fought in both those wars. Ford Settle. The rotunda at the East Tennessee Veterans Cemetery was full with family and friends paying tribute to the 95-year-old country boy who grew up during the Depression and joined the U.S. Army shortly after the attack at Pearl Harbor. Glenda Settle, Ford's daughter, spoke of her father and how his service affected her. My father instilled a lot of respect, honor, duty. It continues on today, she said. In 1944, Ford Settle was at D-Day +2. There would be more European campaigns and Korea, then retirement from the Army after 22 years of service. Getting back to your friend, Jeff. Mary Ann Settle, Ford's wife, recalled when they first laid eyes on each other during his time overseas. We met in 1953 in London, she said. There you are, Jeff. Like many World War II veterans, Ford met Mary Ann while stationed in Europe after the war. They married and had 4 children. During his eulogy, Sergeant Settle was remembered for his unwavering duty to country, like so many of his generation. All those men, 16 million, Mary Ann Settle. We need to remember every one of them. This subhead, by the numbers, statistics from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs record there were 16 million World War II American veterans. Now 348 are dying each day, according to the VA.
Okay.
Yeah. By the end of 2019, just over 400,000 will still be alive. And that, Jeff, is the one from the United States that I have. There are others, guys, that you can go to and find if you go to this website. The overriding portion of it is Veterans Voices, all right, and there are some very poignant stories in there, and it just points up the sacrifices that were made by the American veterans over there, and over there in Europe and in the Pacific. And this guy, as I said, Jeff, not only he was not unique in this. All right, he served in World War II and Korea, because a lot of guys were drafted for the Korean War if they were still age eligible after they had already served in World War II. They thought they had done their bit. They said, hey, I did my bit in World War II, and then the military came for them again. Sometimes, I'll give you a personalized story. In some instances, it was about where they served. A friend of mine's father was in the Merchant Marine in World War II, and he did things like make the famous Murmansk run. He did that one time because it was so dangerous. All right, a lot of merchant ships got sunk making that run. He even had seen the muzzle flashes from the Bismarck from attacking the convoy that he was in. So he thought that he was done at the end of World War II, and he felt, and we now recognize, rightfully so, that being a member of the Merchant Marine, he had done his service, but he was later drafted for the Korean War, and he served there in the U.S. Army. So this was not an unusual story. There were a lot of these guys that served not just in one war in combat, but in two, and we can't forget them, Jeff. This is something that we always have to and pass down.
I mean, I think the Korean. I'm sure I see when I look back at paper when I was born around that time in '51. I think the Korean War was underway then, wasn't it? In '50s, the very early '50s, and I think it was. I remember seeing a paper of something about it, Dave, from a long time ago. And
it ended in 1953, Jeff.
Sorry?
It ended in 1953, Jeff.
Yeah. I knew it was in the 50s, but I remember seeing a paper back in the time. Well, you know, some of the papers. If you look back or you Google things like that, you can have a look at the headlines of a certain thing. But and of course, how long did that conflict last for, Dave? Because I think you still. Basically, there's still been an unwritten thing. No one give up anything. I mean, it's just the Americans, the British, and everybody departed, and a fragile, whatever you want to call it. What do they call it, Dave? Hostility.
Well, it ended in armistice, Jeff. Basically, nobody gave up territory, and it ended in stalemate. People just went home, and that's the situation. That, very technically speaking, the Korean War is still going on. Very technically speaking, but everybody decided to go home after about 5 or so years, Jeff. Yeah, that was. There was
no declaration or anything like that, wasn't it? It was just sides, but stop fighting, basically. That's really what happened, wasn't it, though? This was the first of the United. What do they call it?
Yeah, this was the first of the United Nations wars, which was not a declared war or anything like that, and it really set the tone for wars that have happened since then. And guys, if you want to hear some discussion about that, that's good. You can go to the Unpleasant Blind Guy page at Spreaker.com and listen to a show I did with Kaiser Schuff. It's back there. It's called Castle 3, and that one just finished up. It was a 3-parter. We had a good discussion about that and about how war was made in World War I and II and how it was made afterwards. Well, Jeff,
wasn't it cool? I mean, the so-called United Nations before it was recognised as the United Nations. Wasn't it right? It was labelled the League of Nations, Dave, before they decided to put in that and set up the United, what it is, the United Nations. I think that's how it was, isn't it? If I remember right, back in the day. Just after the war.
The old League of Nations. No, the old League of Nations was disbanded, Jeff. But the time
that's
is
right, Dave.
the time is the time is almost upon us for the end of the show. And
wow, look at the time. Where's it gone? Where's it gone, Dave?
Yeah, that's right. And we have a special song for the end of the program, and this one, if you listen to this one, we did this one, Jan and I did, for the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I last year. And I think it's a wonderful tribute to our veterans. We will never forget, and we will always honor. And Jeff, if you're ready for this, I'll roll this song. This one, guys, is about close to 6 minutes long, but it's well worth the listen. So, Jeff, if you're ready,
I'll
go ahead and roll this.
Thank you very much. And thanks for all what you've done this evening, Dave. Go ahead, brother.
It's quite all right. Okay, guys, this one is by the Forays, and it's called The Green Fields of France. And God bless our veterans. This is the English Defense League radio show.
Well, how do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while? Need the warm summer sun. I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. I see by your gravestone you are only 19 when you joined the Great Fallen in 1916. I hope you died well and I hope you died clean. Our young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. Although you died back in 1916, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed and forever behind the glass frame? In an old photograph, torn, battered and stained, and faded to yellow in the brown leather frame. Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? The sun, now it shines on the green fields of France. There's a warm summer breeze that makes the red poppies dance. And look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no gunfiring now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses stand mute in the sand. To man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to a whole generation that were butchered and damned. Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as he lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Our young Willie McBride, I can't help wondering why do those that lie here know why did they die? And did they believe when they answered the call? Did they really believe that this war would end war? Well, the sorrow, the suffering, the glory, the pain, the killing and dying were all done in vain. For young Willie McBride, it all happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drum slowly, did they play the fife slowly, did they sound the death march as it lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did they beat the drum slowly, did they play the fife slowly, did they sound the death march as it lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
Wow, that's very moving, isn't it? It's very, very moving. The words powerful. Thank you for that, Dave, and you and Jen done a great job with that, by the way. But we're right down to a couple of minutes left of the show. Would you just like to finish off your final thoughts, and then we'll shut the show down today. Thank you, mate. Thank you for all you've done tonight as well, bro.
Well, thank you, Jeff. And, of course, thank you to the listeners. And my undying thanks go to our veterans here in the United States and their brothers in the UK and France and the Allied countries. Too many, really, to mention before the show is over. Australia, Canada, of course, people who recognized that freedom had to be fought for. And so they joined their brothers in arms and took on evil. And it is our job now to carry their spirit forward, as I said in the script, to victory over evil. The war never ends, in a way. And we will always remember those who served. I wish them and their family God's blessings. And God bless our listeners. God bless you, Jeff. God bless the English Defense League. Back to you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I'm not going to see us out like we normally do, play us out with a tune. I'm just going to thank yourself, Dave, and thanks for our listeners for listening to the show this evening. Once again, Dave, thank you very much for everything you've done this evening, and the stories. I hope that everybody's listened to the show this evening. It meant a lot to us this evening. I was quite emotional with some of the things that we was discussing. But it's only right that we spend that bit of time, to reflect on our heroes who served their country and sacrificed all for us. So once again, thank you for joining the English Defence League radio show. Take care, stay safe, God bless you all, and not forget it, no surrender ever. Be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the English Defence League radio show, signing off for tonight, and we'll see you again this Thursday. God bless you all, and say stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye. Have a great week, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
And that is it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes.
Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.